Welcome to the Dr. Jim Cares podcast with Dr. James Augustine, where we provide powerful solutions for helping you create wellness. The following discussion is for educational purposes only and is not meant to diagnose or treat disease. Because our approach is individualized, it's important to not apply this information without first consulting with your healthcare professional. And now, here's Dr. Jim.
Welcome to a journey through the unseen battles within our bodies, where the very hormone designed to save us in times of stress turns into a double-edged sword. Today, we're delving deeply into the hidden world of cortisol, a crucial hormone that, when uncontrolled, transforms from a protector to a suppressor. Imagine an invisible force slowly undermining your body's defense troops. This is the story of how high cortisol levels betray our immune system. Are you ready to uncover the truth behind this physiological paradox? Let's unravel the mystery of how something meant to save us can, in excess, become a threat to our very survival. Welcome to the Dr. Jim Cares podcast. My name is Dr. Augustine from Head to Wellness, and today we're discussing how chronically high cortisol can affect your immune system in a negative way. That's not a good thing. Do you get sick easily? Are you the one that's always battling immune system challenges? Well, listen up. This podcast is definitely for you. So high cortisol levels, particularly when sustained over extended periods, can suppress the immune system in multiple ways. We're going to talk about 10 different ways today in this podcast. So number one, and we're going to try to explain some detailed stuff about your immune system, so bear with me. Number one, inhibition of cytokine production. So the cytokine pathway is a very deep but powerful inflammatory process biochemistry that goes on in your body. Cytokines are protein messengers that play a crucial role in the immune response. Cortisol can inhibit the production and release of various pro-inflammatory cytokines, which, while useful for controlling excess inflammation, can hinder the body's ability to combat infections. So that's not a good thing. Number two, lymphocyte reduction. Lymphocytes are those white blood cells that are special, and they're mostly involved with dealing with viral infections. Lymphocytes, which include T cells and B cells, they're central to the adaptive immune response. So high cortisol levels in this case can lead to a cause. It basically decreases the number of circulating lymphocytes, and it reduces your body's ability to recognize and fight off specific pathogens. Now, the adaptive immune response is more slower to respond, but it's the side that when you have exposure to certain bugs, it keeps a memory of them so that the next time you're re-exposed to those bugs, it's a quick response, much faster response. Let's put it that way. So number three, thymus gland activity. So your thymus gland sits right here in your chest. I'll just make a fist so you can see that. And the thymus gland is essential for T cell development and differentiation. So chronic exposure, though, again, to high cortisol levels can lead to atrophy of the thymus gland, which compromises T cell maturation. So in other words, your immune system is not going to be as effective when you have chronically high cortisol levels. And how do you get chronically high cortisol? Classically, it's some kind of stressor in your body. It can be your external stressors in your life. It could be work stressors, family stressors, job. It can be money. It can be not getting enough sleep. It could be just your physical job is too physically demanding on you and can cause this chronically high stress level. I would also say that, in the cases of family stress, we husbands do a pretty good job at stressing out our wives. So just saying. So number four is impaired macrophage function. Now, macrophages are the immune cells that are responsible for engulfing and destroying those pathogens, those bad bugs. So elevated cortisol certainly can impair the ability of macrophages to function effectively. So making them less efficient at a process that's called phagocytosis, which is basically the process of engulfing pathogens and getting rid of them. So number 5, inhibition of immunoglobulin synthesis or making immunoglobulins. So cortisol can suppress the synthesis of immunoglobulins, which are antibodies, by B cells. Reduced antibody production can compromise the body's ability to neutralize specific pathogens. Now, suppression number 6. Here you go. Ready for this one? This is interesting. Suppression of mast cells and basophils. So we got number 6, suppression of mast cells and basophils. These cells play a crucial role in allergic responses and inflammation. So high cortisol levels can suppress their activity, which, while potentially reducing allergic reactions, can also impact the broader immune response, right? Impairing your immune response. Number 7 is reduced histamine release. So cortisol can inhibit the release of histamine from mast cells and basophils. While this can help control allergic responses and inflammation, it can also interfere with some immune responses. Again, not good. High cortisol, not good. Number 8, how about suppression of the acute phase response? During infections or injuries, the liver produces specific proteins that are called acute phase proteins. High cortisol levels can suppress this, potentially impacting, again, the initial stages of the immune system defense. How about number 9? Impact on our immune system's memory. Because it's good when your immune system knows what type of bug that you're interacting with so they can have a quick response and get rid of it before you actually get ill. So impact on immune system memory, chronic stress, and prolonged high cortisol might impair the immune system's memory function, which relies on specific cells remembering pathogens, like we just talked about, to respond more efficiently in the future. So again, there's that impaired immune response. And lastly, number 10, impaired, or basically high cortisol, because of high stress, will impact your barrier function. Now, imagine that our bodies have barriers in them to protect us from bad bugs. So your skin is not just in your arms and legs and face, but it's in your mouth and goes from your mouth all the way down to your anus, the internal side of your body, but it's like one giant tube going through from one end to the other called your digestive tract. That's also skin. Then you have that intestinal barrier that we like to talk about that's called leaky gut, or it's the small intestinal lining that can get damaged, and you can start to cause and have leaky gut, which is intestinal permeability, where it gets too permeable, where all kinds of bad things can get into your bloodstream that you want to keep out. So hence leaky gut. Another barrier that's really crucial and critical is your blood-brain barrier. So we don't want to cause problems with these barriers because guess what? Infectious agents, bugs, bacteria, virus, parasite, fungus, and yeast can get through them and into and start causing damage to tissues in your bodies that it shouldn't. So barrier function, elevated cortisol compromises the barrier, skin, mucous membranes, making it easier for pathogens to enter the body. There you go. So it's important, to note that the immune suppression effects of cortisol has evolutionary benefits. Let me say that again. It's important to note that the immune suppressing effects of cortisol have evolutionary benefits. By dampening the immune response, cortisol helps to prevent excessive inflammation and potential damage to tissues. However, when the suppression becomes chronic due to prolonged high cortisol levels, it leaves the body more vulnerable to infection and slows wound healing. Not good. So as we conclude this insightful journey, it's clear that the tale of cortisol is one of balance and caution. In the grand scheme of our body's complex systems, cortisol emerges, not as a mere hormone, but as a potent force that demands respect. Its dual role, both as a savior in times of immediate stress and a potential adversary when it overstays its welcome, serves as a powerful reminder of the delicate equilibrium within us. Today, we've seen how this shield can become the sword, leaving our immune defenses compromised. Remember, in this intricate dance of health and disease, understanding and managing cortisol is key to maintaining not just our physical well-being, but our very resilience against the unseen threats that lurk within and around us. Thanks so much for joining us on this revealing exploration. And until next time, stay balanced, stay informed, and certainly stay healthy. Hope this video has been helpful to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave comments below, as well as you can contact me through email, draugustine@gmail.com. You can also reach out to my office at 562-860-3404. I'm also on social media. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook, as well as podcasts, the audio version of all of this. I'm on Apple, Google, and Spotify podcasts, as well as some others. So please subscribe and give me some likes, some thumbs up. That'd be great. Would appreciate that. My name is Dr. Augustine from Head to Wellness. Again, I hope this was good for you. I hope it's useful, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us on your journey to wellness. Join us next time for more information and education about your health. And feel free to contact Dr. Jim on social media or at his office, Head to Wellness in Buena Park, California.